Thank you for listening to this podcast from TRE, Talk Radio Europe, your voice in Spain and around the world. For more information, please visit tre.radio.
Discuss, challenge, inform, comment, Viewpoint on Talk Radio Europe.
Giles Brown.
Live comment and discussion with studio guests. Viewpoint.
It is Tuesday, the 18th of August. You're listening to Viewpoint, Talk Radio's current affairs programme with a panel of invited guests where we discuss the issues of the day. I'm going to be joined in the studio by Ali Babapule and Alf Brewer, and on the line, all things being equal, by our man in London, Rex Leyland. Yes, indeed, he'll be joining us. Keep the enthusiasm down. If you've got anything you want to get across to us, it's going to be local, national or international. You want to tackle today's Viewpoint? Well, these are the numbers.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95. Message us on Facebook, Talk Radio Europe Official, or tweet us at TRE Talk Radio.
So then, looking at the cheap sheets, looking at the headlines in the UK at the moment, we're looking at the following, and they say, and I quote, the iPaper has a plea from fire chiefs for people not to use 999 to report that a neighbour is holding a barbecue or having a bonfire. The paper says it comes in the wake of a surge of emergency calls over the weekend, which were blamed on the government's use of the National Alert System to warn about the danger of starting a wildfire. It also reports on a prediction from the Met Office that another heat wave may be on its way next month. Comments by Deputy Leader of Reform UK on climate change are the main story for The Guardian. It reports that Richard Tice told a news conference it was arrogant to try and stop the climate emergency and encouraged people to think about the upsides of heat waves, like British wine. The paper says his comments have caused a backlash from medical experts and Green campaigners. The Mirror's headline declares Tice a wine buffoon. Times carries a warning from the Children's Commissioner for England that children are becoming intoxicated by extremism. The comment comes from a report by Dame Rachel de Souza, in which she says there's deep concern that young people are being drawn into radicalisation and violence, with the internet central to the process. According to the Daily Telegraph, Housing Secretary Angela Rayner has softened planning rules for traveller sites, which would give councils fewer ways to block them. The paper says she's removed two rules which councils and residents have been able to use to oppose unauthorised camps, but it quotes government sources who argue that other changes will make it harder for such sites to get retrospective planning permission. The Times reports that studies suggested a shared fondness for a musical genre or artist may reveal more about a couple's compatibility than other personality traits. The researchers in Austria mixed up real couples to test the idea and found that those who were a pair were much more alike in what they listened to, on average, than people who were put together at random. The leader of a study said it was her hunch that musical preferences combine several clues at once about a person's personality traits, emotional tendencies, values and background. Austrian couples, presumably that's an awful lot of Mozart, there's to be Amadeus, and of course the entire soundtrack to The Sound of Music. Those headlines from the top today in the UK. Daily Mail. So who was White House hoaxer who duped PM security fees over burner messages with imposter who posed as Trump's chief of staff? The Daily Star, Andy's faked, caught out by Trump prankster and crazy wildfire alert. Does someone need to take away the Prime Minister's phone? The Daily Telegraph, Rayner paves way for more traveller sites. The Guardian, Tice call to stop fighting climate crisis, sparks fury. The Daily Mirror, wine buffoon, devastating drought, wildfires, homes burnt to the ground, families who have lost everything. But Reform Deputy Richard Tice says it's great for the grapes. Farage, and they say Farage's party at it again. That's the Mirror. The Sun, Pep's divorce round at players. This is apparently Guardiola's report to talk to his team about his marital problems. The Times, children left fixated with violence by social media. Daily Express, Smugglers use Britain as transit hub for migrants. Fear that migrant camps could grow on the UK's south coast. Daily Express lead. Meanwhile, the North Korea leader Kim Jong-un and his daughter Kim Joo-e are pictured on the Financial Times front page, attending a circus performance celebrating the 81st anniversary of Korea's liberation from Japanese rule. The Metro. That doesn't sound much like peace, Mr. President. This is the president's threat to bomb Oman, an American ally, as the deadline to resolve the Iran war continues. Trump, I'll bomb Oman if it blocks our Hormuz plan. That's Independent. The Eye, neighbours told, don't phone 999 to report next door's barbecue. Just having a quick look at the Spanish papers as well to see what they are saying this morning, what the main Spanish story is. Basically, the main stories in your Spanish press, having a quick look through through their papers. Looking at the fact that Sanchez is having to defend his government's actions and what they did or do not know ahead of the quote-unquote invasion, as some are saying, of Ceuta, which happened at the end of last month. And those are your headlines.
Viewpoint with Giles Brown.
Honestly, right, okay, so we're back live, and I've just been greeted with a cry of, I thought you'd forgotten me. Good morning to our man on the Thames, the woke finder Gerald himself, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and whatever, it's Rex Leyland. Rex, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Spain. Good morning, Giles.
You sound... Yes, go on.
Go on. You sound what?
You sounded fine, Fettel, I must say. Are you enjoying the weather, which is great?
Well, I was going to start off by saying that the mood has changed here. I have woken up. I'm looking now at a classic English summer sky, grey, dark, and miserable. The weather has changed finally.
There are reports of, well, you see, there's two things that had on this, Rexy Poos. One of the facts is the fact that, obviously that there's a sixth heat wave on the way, apparently, according to the things. And
I know there is. So, we had the hottest. I think we were the hottest. We were certainly the hottest place in the UK. Where are we today? Tuesday. I think it was last Thursday, it got to 38.4 in Kew Gardens opposite, wow. Which was deathly.
Were your blooms wilting, Rex? That's what the public want to know.
What?
Were your blooms wilting?
Wilting, oh, definitely. I mean, it's just awful. I mean, when all this started months ago, I thought that something had happened to me and that I'd fallen ill. And I came home, because I'd never sweated in my life, and I came home, started to take my blood pressure. I thought, oh, my God, I'm on the way out. Then I started stopping people in the street saying, are you sweating? And they said, yes. I said, oh, thank God for that. I thought it was just me.
Hang on. You were stopping people in the street and asking if they were sweating. Who were you? Who did you think you were? Prince, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor? What?
It had nothing to do with sweating.
Yeah. I know
in West London by the river, and you say,
Shall we say people who I was familiar with?
I have come on this programme many, many, many times.
Yes.
Never, ever heard a beginning like this one.
He used to be the woke finder. He's now the wet finder general. There you go.
The woke finder general is here, ready to run.
Right.
And you need the rain now, don't you, Rex? Because otherwise your boat will bottom out.
Night.
Your boat will bottom out.
We do, Alf. We do, desperately. It rained a bit last night,
right?
But it's still not enough.
Right.
And we're praying. We are actually really, really, really desperate
right.
for rain.
Well, we're on the subject of weather. Let's get stuck into this. I want to talk a little bit about this, just briefly anyway, because not because of climate. Well, it's been a very interesting, and I know that the British love to speak about the weather, but But this has been
That's all we do. That's all we do.
Exactly. But it's become front and central, not because of the fact that there is you've had 5 heat waves, which is, London when it's like this it can be glorious unless you've got to go on public transport. But the two things struck me, and the social media erupted at the end of last week because of the alarm that went off, to warn people, which is supposed to be only in times of, literally, if Putin finally flipped his lid and sent over a 20 megatot towards Richmond, then you expect the alarm to go off. But not to say, yes, you can.
When I was in New York, I'm talking about the alarms. This is the validity of your statement. I think the alarms should be only used as, for example, when I was in New York a year ago last April, we had an earthquake. Now, New York has not had an earthquake for more than 75 years. And my wife said to me at the time in the hotel room, she said, "My God, the subway's making a lot of noise today." I said, "That's not the subway. We're up on the 15th floor. That's an earthquake." And then suddenly our phones...
reflect on what he's just said. Rex, think about what you're saying.
Our phones went mad.
Yes.
I know, they always say, "Did the earth move for you?" We've heard that one before.
The earth didn't move for your wife, did it?
No, well,
exactly.
And Rex
and then we went downstairs. And I'd befriended the receptionist the night before. And as I walked up to the reception desk, he said to me, "Oh, by the way, we don't charge extra for earthquakes."
Right, fair enough. I'd just like to say to all those listening, by the way, this is what we call in Preston. This is the silly season, obviously, and it's reflected. I mean, every day is the silly season, really, on Viewpoint. But this is obviously going to be more sillier than normal as we kick off with this.
We had an earthquake here.
We had an earthquake here, yes, Rex. There was a big one in Grenada.
Over 5
last week.
Yeah. Over 5.
When was the earthquake?
Last
Thursday. Thursday, yeah.
Over 5 on the Richter. Over 5 on the Richter scale.
We often feel the earth move in Spain.
We often do, yes. Right then, let's just carry on Viewpoint. Somebody let me know about this.
What are those plates that come together underneath the Mediterranean?
Tectonic plates, you mean? The tectonic plates?
No, they're not that big. They're nearly that. It's where the 2 bits from Africa and Europe.
You can tell you're an amateur geologist, can't you?
Absolutely.
The 2 bits.
But we often have earthquakes along here. It's just that sometimes they're big. Like, was it Grenada, the church tower?
Lorca, Anyway,
problem.
Let's move on from.
We love the earth moving.
We love the earth moving here. You just have to look at what they're building around here. Anyway,
can I just ask you one quick question?
Yes.
What is the temperature with you today, and what's the forecast?
It's not the temperature. It's the humidity.
The humidity.
It's fearsome today.
No, he's talking rubbish.
I went to my. I took
28 and it's lower humidity today than it's been for 3 weeks.
It wasn't when I was walking towards the cash point in more in hope than expectation this morning.
You should listen to Dave.
No, because you got nervous. You got nervous because you thought you had no money in the bank.
I didn't think I had no money in the bank. I knew I had no money in the bank. The joys of 9527840. Anyway, let's get back. Before
we start talking about Giles,
talking about cashless society. I'm cashless and Carlos, but there you go. Right now, moving swiftly onwards. No, but seriously, I mean, looking at the situation in the UK, I mean, Blackheath was looking particularly scorched. I mean, it's particularly black rather than anything else. Brownheath. I mean, and Andy Burnham allowing this alarm to go off. I mean, is there anything that you think a Prime Minister can possibly do at this point with these sort of things? Rex, I'll start with you.
Well, there's really not a lot he can do other than the fact, and if he's got divine right and he can control the weather. I think perhaps a lot more support for the fire. But all the services, and I watch the ambulances going over the bridge here, and it's, they're constantly going over the bridge with their sirens on. I feel sorry for all the people who are in public service because it's put an enormous pressure on them. And quite honestly, there's not a lot that Andy Burnham and his clowns. Andy Burnham and his clowns.
Yes, I see what you did there, yes. Is that your new thing?
Yeah. That's the new phrase. It's going to be quoted all around the world now. Andy Burnham circus surrounded by his clowns.
Yes, okay.
Anyway, that's another story. People say that we should be more patient with Andy Burnham because he's going to do well. Well, so far, I would use the word insipid. I don't see anything positive, anything really that's going to move me politically. How's that?
I just like the way that everybody thinks that all politicians are sort of superheroes, and immediately they come in just before the summer recess, Rex, that they're going to sort of like, it's not like Doctor Strange or you've just voted for Iron Man. It's going to take some time to get through. Alf's giving me that look.
Well, it's just Rex is typical of so many people in the UK. Yeah, Burnham comes on. I've never been a fan of Andy Burnham, but you have to give people a bit of credit. I always said, right from the beginning, you can listen to old radio stuff. Starmer had a charisma bypass, and all Burnham is doing is hyping up all of the good stuff that the Labour Party were trying to say and do. But we've still got this one single problem that nobody will let go.
Yeah.
14 years of Tory rule, stuff wasn't built. No dams, no reservoirs, no water. We've got canals in the UK. Why don't they use them to move the water around? It rained in Scotland, but we can't. It's the same in Spain, isn't it? It pours with rain in northern Spain, and in southern Spain, we've got no water. It only needs a pipe or whatever. They can build a pipe for oil, but can't build a pipe for water.
Spanish friends were asking me the other day, does the UK not have any reservoirs? Well, I'm just trying to...
it does. Huge numbers of reservoirs.
I think...
But old. So if you go... Right, the one I know, the biggest one I know, is called Bala Lake. I don't know if you know it, Rex. Bala it's in North Wales. It's enormous.
Near where I was at school.
Right, it's an enormous, great big reservoir, isn't it? But it's about a quarter full.
Yeah.
And you go, hang on, didn't we have floods in the over the summer and over the autumn and over the spring and every other time when it's not burning hot, they have floods. And yet we've got a reservoir here that serves, as I understand it, Manchester, Liverpool and North Wales. So it's not a small one. It's enormous. And it's a third or quarter full. It's nonsense. So, but you can't blame Burnham for there being no water in there.
No,
now,
you can't. No, that's what I said. You can't. It's too soon.
Yeah, but it's all of it as well, isn't it? They built how many? And the Tories go, that's because we started the programme. 900,000 new homes. All right, they might not. 390,000 new homes been built. Are they going to meet the 1.5 million? Well, they're trying. They're trying very hard. And what do they run into? And they never say it because it's too politically incorrect. So they run into the councils that are run by the Tories, by Reform, by the Lib Dems, who've all got a reason why you can't build houses where they are.
Yeah.
It's not in my back garden.
Yeah.
I remember Bromley, they ended up having... They would let people build houses at the bottom of their garden, but they wouldn't let anybody build an house on a brownfield site that had been empty for 35 years.
There's not going to be an awful lot sitting there. I mean, I just want to move on. Also the other thing that made me sort of smile, or at least roll my eyes, is this whole thing about people calling 999 for barbecues. I mean, why do we sometimes overestimate? He said, looking at himself. You're looking at me like I'm the sort of person who would dial 999.
No. Listen. You've got numpties everywhere. And they seem to, when they've got heat waves or any kind of natural disaster that happens, to become even more numpty than they were before. I mean, anyone with a bit of common sense would know not to do it. You try and put it out yourself. You don't call the people who are fighting the big fight now for such an idiotic thing.
It's the people next door.
Yes,
I'll tell you what shocked me yesterday. I walked into Sainsbury's and they had those, portable picnic barbecues on special. They should be banned during this weather.
Hang on.
I mean, that's what Barnum should have done? He should have banned the sale temporarily.
Stop calling him Barnum, Rex. It belittles you.
Sorry,
belittles you.
It's stuck. I'm on the trapeze. It's part
name
of the
name calling is popular politics.
I've got visions of you now of Rex sort of swinging manfully around it.
Orange.
In Spain, right? We have things called the Campo, and they're banned from having barbecues in the summer, but you can still go into Carrefour and buy a disposable or whatever they call them barbecue.
Little Barbie, little Barbie.
Well, it's over here as well, and you just go, well, so Barnum, you got me saying.
You studied it now.
So Andy
Job
Burnham,
done, Rex. You've done your job.
Highly addictive. Highly addictive.
So Andy Burnham, who comes on the scene, and you go, there's been no parliament, there's no political conversation going on. Most of the MPs have gone on foreign holidays or wherever they go, and you've got this whole vacuum that he is filling by doing things that people already know. He comes out on the television, he says, oh, look, we've got all these wildfires. What are we going to do about it that the Tories haven't done? Oh, look at this. We've got no water because they've not built the reservoirs. What are we going to do about it? Oh, we've got this problem with all these sleepers, what they call them, sleepers who got no
rough sleepers.
Yeah. And you go, but we got nowhere to put them. And he says, right, so local councils, what you've got to do is you've got to create these places like they did in Manchester, 300, 400, 500 rooms for people to use overnight. And the local authorities go, but we're on holiday. It's just silly. This is all silly nonsense. But what Burnham's doing...
It reminds me, Alf, of a story. Many years ago, when I first went to Ibiza, I got robbed whilst waiting for the car hire, and turned around. The case, my briefcase had gone. Everything, bloody phone and the computer, passports, a lot. Anyway, so we went to the police, and I said to the one policeman on duty, I said, "Well, where are all the police?" This was in August. He said, well, they're all on holiday.
In a word.
On the island of Ibiza. Can you imagine? In August, all the police are on holiday.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Right, get a quick break and then back with some more Viewpoint.
Viewpoint with Giles Brown.
Yes, indeed. Live and lively. Joined in the studio by Alia and Alf and the woke finder journal himself in the UK, Rex Leyland. If you want to get involved with this morning's show, get a viewpoint across. It could be local, national or international.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95. Message us on Facebook, Talk Radio Europe Official, or tweet us at TRE Talk Radio.
Now, this is a story that a lot of people will find disturbing. This is about the death of the 41-year-old Cambridge University professor Jason Arde, who's died amidst allegations of plagiarism. The academic who was who was accused of exaggerating his achievements was found unresponsive and later pronounced dead in an apartment in Battersea on Friday. His death came days after he resigned, after the Institute Cambridge announced it would investigate him over new information that cast his academic qualifications and honorary appointments in a new light. There have been, however, gatherings to mark his passing. The university's chancellor, and also the gathering, there was one in London, which was basically British public figures such as Diane Abbott, Dawn Butler, would gather to honour his life. University's chancellor said that academic integrity could be upheld whilst questioning Mr. Arde's treatment. A statement by Arde's family, read at a vigil by a Labour member of Parliament for Clapham and Brixton Hill, Bel Ribeiro. Adi blamed public cruelty for Mr. Arde's death while reflecting on the kindness of people during these difficult times. Now, I was listening to some background on this the other day, and I do find it quite disturbing in the way that this got out of control very, very quickly indeed, because it was almost like Jason Arde was held up as a cipher to everything that was perceived to be wrong with academia in Britain, the inclusivity situation, the programs like that, and it drove. I mean, for those who don't know, Jason Ardie was the youngest black professor in the UK. He had autism. He claimed that he was unable to literally to read until he was about 18. And if you look at it now, one can see with disturbing accuracy how this I was going to say young man, he's in his 40s, but was very quickly sort of pushed over the edge. Alia, just have your thoughts, and we'll go Alia, Alf, and then you, Rex. So Alia, your thoughts on this?
I was horrified. Yeah. Absolutely horrified. I mean, it was such a witch hunt from all of the newspapers, and they were all hammering away at this poor man who was cleared of plagiarism, completely exonerated from everything, who said he had autism, which might have led to errors in works which he had produced, and said sorry for it, apologized. Apparently, he was very, very well liked by all his alumni because they've been holding vigils for him and so on and so forth, come out in immense support for the man. And this has left a devastated family. And all of this was because of the hounding of the media non-stop. It was about 299 articles, about 198 were written by the Telegraph. And then the Times came in, and Uncle Tom Cobley and all. I mean, for a man who's got a problem anyway, who's neurodivergent, clever though he was, to absorb all of that, plus the fact that he was black, it is atrocious what happened to that poor man, and it's going to go on unless the press is reined in properly for not hounding people like this. It is absolutely a witch hunt. It was disgusting. Some of the things which were read. What's that waffle woman, Julia Hartley-Brewer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, what the heck? No, you're all right.
No relation.
I mean, what did she say? Maybe the amount of money which he's going to have for his book can pay the funeral costs. What kind of tone-dead, brain-dead person says that? I mean, come on. Really? Is that what we've come to today? People hammering away at people just because they think they have the right to.
It's not because they think they've got the right to. It's because freedom of speech says they have got the right to. But rightly or wrongly, I think most of it was wrong. But there's so many things that we don't know. And it's all well and good taking a view like you've just taken earlier. Well, yeah, well, no, but we all do. But there's more than one side to this 12-sided commentary, and yes. Giles, you asked a question. In my view, what happened? I mean, I didn't know this bloke from Adam, and he comes on the TV as a big thing. I think I saw it on Newsnight first,
right? And
immediately, this is me, simple Alf. You just go, they're just turning. There's no other stories. There's nothing else going on. Yeah. There's no real politics going on. So the media have got to fill all their papers and junk with this that people read, unfortunately, and they do read it. Oh, you read it. Oh, I don't read half of this stuff. But what happened almost immediately in my mind is they turned it from an issue between the individual, the university, and whoever was saying that this guy was wrong in what he was doing into a political football. It's now become, because all the people you mentioned, they have this thing in Trafalgar Square yesterday, the woman who said it was her MP, she's a very outspoken left-wing MP, Diane Abbott is there, black MPs, and they bring out, and all of a sudden you've got this issue that is, one, did the university act in the right way? Yeah, it's all well and good for the Chancellor to come out, but what about the Board of Governors? The Chancellor is a person. The Board of Governors saying, so what happened to the vetting process that went on? There's question marks about why he was given the job. Maybe it was because it was positive discrimination. I don't know, and it wouldn't be just because he was black. It's all the autism and everything else. And yes, the whole thing has turned into this vile pile of political nonsense that somebody somewhere, I tell you what, there will be conversations in Parliament about this guy, and none of us really know what the top and bottom of the whole issue was. And we can all make snap decisions about, the alumni turned out, did they? Or was it just a bunch of people who turned up at Trafalgar Square? Alumni are people from the university. Yes, some of them were. None of those MPs were, by the way, as far as I understand. They were all from universities. Again, we question it.
Yeah, you'll get these situations now where you get, it can be on the left, it can be on the right, but you get, if you like, a bunch of people who will turn up. So, had it been the other way around, you would have seen Tommy Robinson turn up or something like that.
No stories in reservoirs.
No stories
in wildfires, other than there's a fire.
Yeah.
No stories in houses that are burnt down in Stourbridge, which is not exactly your hard up areas. It's Stourbridge, the posh bit of Birmingham.
Off from a golf course, yeah, exactly.
Well, no, it's the posh bit of Birmingham. Yeah. Stourbridge is the posh bit. Everybody knows that the people from Birmingham who didn't want to live in Birmingham moved to Stourbridge. Yeah. I had friends who moved there for that reason. But so there's nothing else to fill the media.
Right.
And they've leapt on this, and the media have turned it into a political football, and then the political people dive in on top of it as if, what's Diane Abbott going to get out of this? Oh, I'm supporting a black bloke. Well, she didn't have to jump on this to say I support black people. Everybody knows where Diane Abbott comes from and what she supports.
I have had discrimination from a little girl coming over from Sri Lanka into England. All the time. It has got out of control, all of this, against people who have a different colour of the skin. And it's everywhere in the world. It's not in the UK. I read about these things. Incidentally, you said you don't read about these things. I do read about these things.
I said quite the opposite, Ali. I said, you read all this stuff in the papers now. I don't.
Yeah.
And like Jamie always says, you read this stuff, all this right-wing press stuff, it's all the same, and they're all doing it for a reason. And I say, if it was about racism, why did it start off as plagiarism? That was the issue. This guy lied about his background. This guy lied about his qualifications. This guy lied about this, that and the other. Nobody knew the reality of that other than the university. The university then come in and get involved, and they say, this is wrong to have a go at this guy who we've promoted. Yeah. The university promoted him, and then all of a sudden it becomes, and the issue is he's black, he's autistic, he's this, he's that. Nothing. That's not how it started.
But it's the thing. But it's the way it gets picked up by the Telegraph. And if you think, had he been a professor in Southampton and a white guy who'd nicked a few bits off, none of this would have happened.
Absolutely.
But you put a picture of him on the front cover, and he's a black guy, grinning at the camera.
Dreadlocks.
It started off with Jason Kovnas.
Yeah.
That tadpole-looking guy who started all of this.
Yeah.
And he was an American.
Tadpole-looking guy.
This was what somebody said. If you look at his face,
at least and then Livingston knew.
If you look at him, I'm afraid he has got the shape of a tadpole. His head. Anyway, he started all of this off, and now he's in the University of Ghent.
Yeah.
All right, and is over there spouting all sorts of nonsense again.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, anyway, a horrible story.
Got some calls coming in. Morning, caller, you're live on TRE. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's your viewpoint, please?
Good morning, Giles Brown. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Jason. And how are you?
I'm okay. I'm in battle myself. Bullies come in all shapes and forms. They're not just limited to media. They can include institutions. In my case, I'm in battle with the Minister of Defence UK, and it's tantamount to a private war being fought in Spain, but obviously Spain is innocent. And when you stand up against a bully, they can do things. They took my war pension away from me last week without explanation. So discrimination can take many forms. It's not limited to colour or creed. It can be when an institution finds that rare situation where an individual will not give quarter or yield on principle with courage and refuses to comply. And this is the strength of the individual, because then what happens is things get so out of control, become such a public nightmare, British stuff prostituted all over Spain, then the power is with the individual, because an institution has got more to lose in terms of prestige, in terms of political standing, not just in Spain but abroad. So the thing to do is not capitulate, stand defiantly against the bully, whatever the consequences might be, if you've got the courage to do it. And I have.
That's not true. Jason, that's not true. I was a union official, and the advice from a senior union official, like I was, to somebody who's being bullied, is you have to look at the circumstances in which the bullying takes place. Sometimes, and I would say 9 times out of 10, my advice to the individual was leave the organisation, because the organisation will support the bully. And that's true throughout. And I'll say it from my background. Jason, let me finish. I'll say it from my background. I was bullied at work, and I ended up being diagnosed with diabetes because they said that the stress and the pressure created that in my body. So I've been bullied at work. I know what it's like to be bullied at work. So, you have to be careful about saying stand up to the bullies, because sometimes the standing up to the bully is I'm leaving the organisation, your loss.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, but you're talking about something totally different. I'm talking about endemic, prolonged discrimination or vilification of an individual for 38 years. And the problem is in the UK, the Ministry of Defence, basically everybody's connected to them, benefactor of charities, Royal British Legion, everybody else. So you fall out with one, you're blackballed by all. And if you're cut out of the system, you've got no input. Do you understand what I mean? So this is a situation where you can't not do something, because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So what you do is you stand with courage and just keep going till something breaks.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the call in, Jason.
Okay, bye-bye.
As always, 952 78 4000 is the phone number. Rex, did you catch any of that?
Giles?
Yes.
I
didn't get any of that.
Time.
No, it's all right.
I know, I got the lot. No, but I disappeared earlier.
Yeah.
And I tried to.
No, I saw that. I saw that. But you're back with us now.
Okay. Now, I'll just give you a quick quote.
Yes, go on.
The University of Cambridge does not track or maintain an official record for the, quote, youngest white professor in its history. That's very odd, given they do so for black professors.
Say that again, Rex, please.
The University of Cambridge does not track or maintain an official record for the, inverted commas, youngest white professor.
Right, it doesn't.
In its history. That's very odd, given they do so for black professors.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand? In other words...
Yeah, but Rex, is that something that Cambridge University are doing because they've been requested to do it by... No, it could have been requested by the governing body. It could have been requested by people in the university. It could be, for instance, quite simply, we need to know how many black people end up being in senior positions in university, whatever it is, because we need to know. You will always find, you go to a local council, they'll tell you how many Asians, how many blacks work in what department for how long. What they won't tell you is how many whites, other than men and women, right? Because they don't keep records of the white folk almost anywhere, but you will keep it for black, ethnic, Chinese, whatever. And I can tell you from my understanding of local authorities, the biggest group of people who do not participate in local organisations and local government anywhere in the UK are the Chinese.
Right.
And how do I know that? Because they track the records for Chinese students and Chinese people in industry. They do it for a reason, to stop racism.
Here's the thing. Do you think that...
And stop spying as well.
Right, okay, thank you, Rex.
I don't know how many spies they track.
Right, okay. Now, meanwhile, do you think that academic institute, because academia lives in a bubble, you might say, do you think that they were particularly ill-equipped to deal with the situation they found themselves in? Because if it had been any other organisation, they may have had protocols they could have put in place, and they might have been more understanding. Because I'm looking at the moment, and this, I just want to go to some of the WhatsApps as well. It seems to me like he was hung out to bleeding dry. So what we've got here is Giles, the professor who started the hounding, is a stupid race theorist. This one, I'm so sorry to say that this poor man's family has to ask themselves why this poor man didn't feel he had enough support and had no choice but to take his own life. It's very, very, very sad. Paul from the People's Republic of Manila, absolutely. And looking at, you just think that when you're in that particular mindset and your world is crashing in, it can be a bad enough blow to resign from a position that you wanted to have for a long time, even if it's not on the front pages of the media. But when you're getting, quote unquote, and there's a technical pylon and everybody leaping in there and putting pictures, and the Telegraph literally digging to find exactly, David Kelly. But hang on, and they were just saying, any alumni, get in touch. Did you feel you were badly marked by a professor? And it was page 5, 6, and 7. Now you don't see this if it's some sociology professor in the University of Stockport who's copied and pasted a few times.
Or media studies in Birmingham,
exactly.
You're absolutely correct. But it's about how we as a society deal with it. It's not about So the university have done something. So what's the rest of Britain going to? I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
The rest of Britain are going to say to Cambridge, "You were wrong. You need to change your ways," and they'll have some bloody great big conference about all their people, and they'll talk about it for 3 years, and they'll come up with some policy that says this is what we're going to do in the future, and the next time they'll have a different bunch of people in charge who won't have any experience of dealing with this, and the same thing or a similar thing will happen. Oh, but it won't happen in Cambridge. No, it'll happen in York or in Leeds or in Oxford or some other university where this sort of thing has come up, because we don't train people in how to deal with it. And you're right. But this guy is in a university. What were their HR people doing? Well, this isn't a small organisation. How many people do Cambridge University employ? They're not a small company. They employ thousands. They should have a massive HR organisation supporting these people. So where are they?
Alia.
I think also the thing is we need to take into consideration that it's one of, shall I say, two biggest well-known universities in the world, Oxford and Cambridge. I'm not saying anything against the others, the universities whatsoever, but it's a fact. It's, you speak to say Oxford, Cambridge. Oh, yes, we know them. Yeah. They don't know about the others, but they know about them. So for Cambridge, which should have known better with all the rhetoric floating around in the world anyway against people of neurodivergent, autistic, this, that and the other. And I'm not saying that white people are not being discriminated against. They are. However, they handled this appallingly badly.
But doesn't this sort of fit into this whole two-tier system that people keep going on about in the UK? Oh, it's obviously because he's a black man, therefore he gets the job at Cambridge, and this one, and it feeds into that sort of narrative that a lot of the press seem to be pushing at the moment. This whole diversification. Rex, I know you keep dropping out, and it's through no fault of your own. Yeah, but I mean,
have you got issues with the phones today, Giles?
I think the Earth keeps moving.
Well, no, the Earth keeps moving. You see. It's very good.
It's atmospheric.
It's always atmospheric around here.
We're sending seismic waves up the Thames.
Seismic wave, yes, indeed. No, but I mean, there has been this whole. Oh well. I mean, if you're a young, if you're a young black person and you get to a position of you get to like this academic has done, and then you're going to get people are going to say, oh, well, he's only got there because of diversification. Any young black person trying to get at the moment will just go, oh, forget it. I might as well not bother, because
even if I
on
merit.
Huh?
Didn't he get it on merit?
Yes, he got it on merit, but the problem is, but it's being in the media, it's being channeled.
You assume he got it on merit because you would like it to be that he got it on merit, but you don't know what policies and things they had in the university for positive discrimination.
But you've got to have a starting point of intelligence. You're not saying
organisation.
We need a chancellor, or we need a.
So why haven't we got right in British Telecom? It was around for years. Why has there never been a black chief executive? In British Rail, why has there never been a black chief executive? In British Water, why is there no black leaders? Why? And you have to keep asking.
British Water because they're intelligent enough to keep away from that particular poison chalice. To put it mildly.
There's enough water companies. There's enough water companies. There's enough, and all of this stuff goes on, and you just go. I'm not being funny, but we don't do enough to promote it, and when we do promote it, people accuse you of you only got the job because of that. And I think, because I've worked in a lot of industries, I think genuinely most industries with senior management do try to look at things from a positive way. So, yes, there will be positive discrimination, but it will still be done on merit. So you're not going to positively promote somebody who's rubbish because it will damage the company. But you will positively promote them with two people who are similar academically or qualifications or whatever, when you get two people who are similar and one's black and one's white, many companies will promote the black rather than the white because they're trying to bring in diversity. I don't know what it is. What's the most popular name in the UK now? Mohammed. Yeah. Come on, we don't even talk about Asians. They're not black, they're Asians. They don't come into the black setup. They're Afro-Caribbeans. And we just keep, Chinese. Are they black? No. Do we have separate things for them? No. What about, the boat people that come over, the Vietnamese boat people? Who's tracked all of them and how they got on in Britain? Were they discriminated against for getting employment, in positively or negatively?
Well, so I'll give you, what positive and negative, I'll give you a star for 10.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because
absolutely, but it's not wrong to have positive discrimination. It's wrong if positive discrimination is then abused. And all I'll say is, and I mean this sincerely, Cambridge University have got a lot to answer for. They are the ones who initially have let this guy down. As soon as it came out, the university should have been in there. They should have been surrounding this guy with all sorts of things. Yeah. They promoted him. They made him a professor. He didn't get his professorship from York or Leeds or Glasgow. He got it from Cambridge University. They promoted him from within. It's a whole... and what have they said? Oh, you shouldn't do this. No, it's just... You're wrong. The whole setup in that university is wrong. Not because of what they did for him, but because of what they didn't do for him after all this blew up. They haven't come in and defended him. No, there wasn't, and you said there was no plagiarism. That's not proven either way because it's difficult.
He was cleared.
No. He was cleared by who?
He was cleared by the university.
Right, okay. So self-levelling people, self-level. Come on. They're not going to say it was plagiarism when they've given him his professorship. So they've defended what they've done. And that's wrong. You have an independent bunch of people come in and look, then you might say, okay, that sounds fair enough. I'm not saying the guy did commit, but it's very difficult, isn't it? If you've been to the university, haven't you, Alia?
No, I went to ballet school.
Okay. I went to grammar school. And
I thought of you two getting the mixed up there.
Absolutely. But you just go, at the end of the day, you trust these organisations to do the right thing. And in this case, Cambridge University did not do the right thing after the event. Leading up, giving him his professorship and all that, I have no question about that.
Yeah.
No question whatsoever. They did what they thought was right for him at the time. What went wrong is after somebody come, I don't even know where this started. Like I say, I saw it on Newsnight, but if it come from the Financial Times or whoever,
it starts at the Telegraph, which is a very strange place for it to start to begin with.
Well, no, because they will attack the establishment, won't they?
Yes, okay.
No, they're anti-establishment because the establishment ain't right-wing enough for them.
And
why have you promoted this black bloke when you should have put a white bloke in there?
Exactly, and that's
where they
horrendous.
come from. Yeah, of course it's horrendous. But unfortunately, we live in a society where that is going to be difficult to change. It's changing over time. It is changing over time. And now, I'll tell you what the criticism now is, isn't it not? You watch UK TV and everybody's going, so where's the white producer? Where's the white
but this is
guy leading the thing?
Yeah, but
and so they bend on this. Where are all the blokes gone out of all the sports reporting?
Well, yeah, but this is the narrative.
They go over the top. They don't explain.
There's a narrative going that somehow to be a white male is you're now being discriminated against, and that fits into that. And especially if you've worked on...
Which I don't agree with, by the way.
Exactly. But if you work on national newspapers, there's a preponderance of white males working in national newspapers.
Absolutely.
I used to be one myself, so therefore...
all my mates who left school went into the media all the same.
Exactly.
They're all white blokes. But that's because they're now my age, so they shouldn't even be in the industry. The industry keep a load of them on it. Well, they should 70 odd years of age.
But we are in the bloom of youth, Alf, you and me. Come on, that's not, And as for Alia, I mean, my goodness.
I'm in my second childhood.
Yeah, you're in your second childhood, exactly.
No, you don't want to say that because that's...
I'm regressing.
You're regressing.
I'm regressing.
Right. You'll end up in a home.
You end up in a home.
Oh, well, I'll take over the home.
Someone changing your nappy.
I'll take over the home.
Why do I not doubt that for a second, Alia?
Don't.
Right.
Anyway,
so
let's move on.
Now, the more observant, if you may notice, we have lost Rex. Now, he's not been torpedoed by the forces of evil. Neither has he run aground on a... what?
His boat's bottomed out.
His boat's bottomed out. We will try and get the... actually, this is a job for... If only we had somebody in the studio who knew about telecommunications. Anyway...
It's not none of them.
No, exactly. But we'll try and get...
Not modern.
Exactly. We will endeavour to get him back in the second half. We'll have a try. But we're going to go up to the... we might... I might... In the second half, I want to have a look at... I want to have a look at the latest from...
Trump, man.
There we go.
Tice.
Exactly, thank you. There we go. I was about to say...
I've got a list.
I know you've got a list, but I was about to go... Oh, you see, you're
your list.
You see, here's the...
I'm just taking over the
them,
program.
as Boris Johnson said, we're going them's the breaks. And we're going to go to a big one now because we're going to get the national international news, and then we're going to be back with more Viewpoint here on TRE Talk Radio, Pure Voice in Spain. If you wish to get your viewpoint across, drop me. Obviously, we have some small issues with the telephone lines, but however, you can send me a WhatsApp to +34 645 99 67 95. You can send me an email to studio@tre.radio as well, and I might try and get the Facebook page up and running. So, going to the national international news and then back with more Viewpoint.
Radio Europe.
Your voice in Spain.
Discuss, challenge, inform, comment, Viewpoint on Talk Radio Europe.
Giles Brown. Live comment and discussion with studio guests.
Viewpoint.
This is Giles Brown, and on Thursday the 20th at 11:30, I'll be speaking to Cristina Diaz and Maria Espinosa from Spence Clark on my Let's Talk show all about the Spanish tax system. Cristina and Maria will discuss everything you need to know about deductible expenses for the self-employed individuals in Spain, including the most common questions and practical considerations. And if you have a question that you want Cristina or Maria to answer about tax, send it to them by email by using the contact form at spenceclark.com, and they'll try and answer this on the show. Don't forget to tune in to Let's Talk this Thursday the 20th at 11:30 so that Cristina or Maria can help you demystify the Spanish tax system.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95. Message us on Facebook, Talk Radio Europe Official, or tweet us at TRE Talk Radio.
Always live, always lively. Joined in the studio by Ali Ababa-Poulay and Alf Brewer, and hopefully in a minute by Rex Leyland. I'm just trying to get the. I think maybe Putin's cut the undersea cable to get to Rex.
That's because somebody in Spain has just found out that Rex means king.
Well, Ray means king.
So we've got Spain's already got a king.
Rex Imperius.
No, that's Rex.
Kings.
Well, that's Latin Rex, isn't it? Rex Imperius. Anyway, so
yeah, he's a king.
Ray. Anyway, let's just see if we can. It's definitely ringing. It's like this is like the old-fashioned days. Go ahead, London. Is he actually? That's dialing.
I go in the car park and build you a telephone.
You see, we can exactly. You can do
mobile
it.
phones.
I've got a friend called Danny Padilla, and he can actually do. He does 3D printing. Are you receiving us, London?
Yes, London calling.
Right,
London receiving.
Isn't it? It's a bit like that at the moment. I'm just winding up the gramophone as we speak, Rex. So
yeah. Well, the cables had probably been cut by either the Russians or the Chinese.
I just said that off air.
I've just seen a junk. I've just seen a junk going downriver.
That's not a junk. It's junk.
It's just junk. Yeah. It's just because of the Thames water policy. That's pros to nothing. I mean, what's your as we got you on and you're on the Thames. The water authorities getting, they're still losing millions, and yet the gatos gordos, the fat cats, are still getting their bonuses. I mean, you must be incensed, Rex.
Well, we are. I think Alf will love this. I think that Maggie Thatcher was wrong to have nationalised our services. I think, in hindsight, it was a shocking mistake. And because you're dealing with infrastructure, an everyday infrastructure that people rely on, and particularly water over electricity. And I think we've seen the results of greed, of downright insulting financial behaviour on the part of the water companies. But I will say we've had no problems so far in London.
Right.
I know other parts of the country have, and I pray for rain, and I pray that we do not have any issues. That's my biggest fear now. That we go back to standpipes in the street, Alf, which you'll remember.
Right.
Getting your
now, just quickly, reservoir figures. No new reservoirs built since 1992. May 2006, Labour announced plans to fast-track 9 new major reservoirs. Build time for reservoirs approximately 10 years. For example, Havant Thicket in Portsmouth, already under construction, due 2031. The Fens Reservoir, Cambridgeshire, due 2036. Sleaford Reservoir, Lincolnshire, 2040. Plus proposals for small agricultural reservoir. And this is from Paul. He says, Rex keeps dropping out as he's currently doing a double shift on OnlyFans. So there you go, Rex. The very thought, Rex, eh?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Well, I didn't quite hear it, but
they think you're doing a double shift on OnlyFans, Rex. Are you? Let's not even.
Oh, right.
Yes,
okay.
Indeed. Let's not even go. So,
I could be, but
one of the issues that people, because it all sounds really bad, 2040 and all that.
Yeah.
But one of the issues with that is about planning permission. Yeah, when you build a reservoir, the chances are you're gonna sink a village, or you're gonna kill off an industrial area, or you're gonna do other environmental, not damage, but do environmental things to an area. Yeah, and one of the issues about the planning stuff is you go through all the planning phase, and it takes years and years and years to have public issues and public debates and conversations. The rest of the country are saying, we're on fire, we need water. So what you never get is the balance between the whole of the population, the silent majority, saying, never mind about a little village, they can be rehoused, we'll give them back their houses and properties and all that. They're the ones who have got to suffer. It's all this not in my backyard. So until we overcome a load of these plans, like Angela Rayner's there, and they're going on about the planning stuff, and you simply just listen to what she's saying. She's not saying we're going to knock down a load of properties in order to build more houses. What she's saying is we've got hundreds, and I mean hundreds, of brownfield sites, ex-industrial sites where there's no industry left. Oh, you can't build because we've got to change it from industrial brown sites to residential green sites. And you go, well, just do it. You know, there's nothing in the way. There's no buildings. There's no factories. There's no. But you're going to
have dead. Because as you know, I was the editor of the British Urban Regeneration Association magazine. All right. Yes,
along
I was.
With many others.
I was. So I'll have you know, and it takes an awful long time, to I mean, especially if it's a brownfield site.
Nowadays, it shouldn't take that long.
You've got residual water, and you've got problems in the actual.
Of course, there's got to be planning stuff to go with it, how you.
Unless you
deal
build them on
with
stilts.
But the first thing you have to agree is that you can turn a brownfield site into a residential site.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that, I tell you, the one I dealt with, next to our training college in Cambridgeshire, at the end of Stansted Runway, it's just a field.
Yeah.
There's nothing been on there, no factories, no nothing. But it was classed as brown site just in case Stansted was going to extend. So that it's brown. 17 years they were trying to change it from a brownfield site where it was green, bloody field.
That's where you want to put something that you need to be really, really sort of like I don't know, like building Norwich Cathedral, like matchsticks. You want that at the end of the runway, don't you? So the vibrations. Right, just to talk about vibrations. Alf mentioned earthquakes on the Costa del Sol. This is John and Mijas. Since the 5.5 quake 3 days ago, we've had a further 30 of 2 to 2.5%. The last one was 10 minutes ago.
I know.
There you go, Alf. There you go, Rex. The Earth moved 10 minutes ago.
Right.
And I've still not felt.
I thought I felt a tremor this end.
Yes. Yes, as the saying goes,
sharing.
There's no.
We love sharing.
We love sharing that with you. Right. Thank you very much for that. Going to take another quick break and then back with more Viewpoint.
Viewpoint.
Always live.
Giles Brown.
Oh, sorry, excuse me. Always live. Always lively. Viewpoint. Joined from our man in that there London, for whom the earth moves frequently. You can tell by the slosh of his wake. Rex Slater. Is your wake sloshing, Rex? Rex? Oh, he's gone. You see, I said that. You say that, and he's popped off. As they say in Wales,
that's because you abused him.
As we say in Wales, and there he was gone. Right.
It's a new thing now, sloshing in his wake. Oh my God! The things you hear on TRE, believe me, you should write a book.
Right, I know. The trials and travails of TRE, and especially Viewpoint. Let's just go. You see, did you hear the build-up I gave you there, Rex, before you dropped out?
No, I didn't hear it.
I said you were sloshing in your wake, and Alia fell off her chair, and now we're back to normal. Right.
Right.
Now,
okay.
Yes. Rex,
go on.
Well, you're a man you're a seafaring man, straight off Hormuz and all that. It must be very interesting for you. Have you thought about unleashing the boat and taking it down to maybe break a blockade or two? Because
he's on his way. That's why he keeps breaking up. He's paddling.
Alia refers to President Trump as the odious orange. Yesterday he came out with a great idea.
No. The imperious confected oath.
Thank you very much. The Imperious Confected Oath. Yes,
I think there are about 1 million names for.
Well, anyway, but listen, I just say as a balanced radio station, we have no. Yes, we do. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards.
No, it's only.
It's the rate. I mean, if you look at the approval ratings, though, obviously people will say, well, that's just fake news. I mean, he's plummeting down to 30% or something now.
Yeah,
so
it's going to go under.
It's not very good at all. However, it doesn't really help, does it, Rex, when somebody says, well, if a man get in the way of our talks, we'll bomb them too. It's
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, John, we've had this discussion over the years since he's been in power several times, and without wishing to repeat myself, it really is, when he talks, it's like listening to a child, and there is no
coherence.
There's no continuity. I mean, I just read this morning that he's instructed. I mean, you can't make it up. All the catapults on all the U.S. aircraft carriers are electric, and he now wants to put them back to steam.
Yes.
Which may or may not be a very good idea, but it's going to cost a fortune. And it's being done at a time when he is at war. The problem with America is that when it gets involved in war, historically, it's not been successable as a nation.
They've never won.
You look at Korea, you look at Vietnam, you look at Afghanistan, you look at all these things. And now we're back in the quagmire of a very unpleasant situation. We're all suffering. We didn't ask to go to war. We didn't ask for any of this. It's been thrust upon us. And I find it quite upsetting.
But I want to go back to just a quick Alia. I mean, you said the Americans had never won a war.
No, they haven't, actually.
Yes, they have.
No, they haven't.
They were involved. Go on.
They were involved with 96 different wars since, I think, 1948.
Right, since
1948. And they never won any of them.
Grenada?
They never won any of them. Go and look it up. Go look it up. I did.
Okay, well, okay. Alf, just be the voice of reason, Alf, and that's saying something.
Well, I think Trump has proved now that he's also dyslexic, isn't he? Because his advisors were saying, we've got to go and get that man. So he said, we're going to bomb Oman. You know, he's just so stupidly weird and whatever. Like I say, but it's childish. You know, just be careful. This guy, he's capable of doing all sorts of things, but half of what he says and does gets retracted. Or if he, like you say, Rex, he wants to change the catapults. They're the things that fire the planes off, aren't they? And you go,
I hope so. Unless we're going back to heavy siege weaponry, which I'm all for. I'm all for the 14th century trebuchet.
To stop the birds going into the thrusters of the planes.
That's actually my first. That's my Christmas wish list, by the way. Trebuchet.
He can say what he likes because it sounds so good, but all the people that are in charge of all those, and it'll only be the aircraft. Well, they got 5, I think, aircraft carriers, and everything that's involved with that. They're just going to ignore him anyway. They're going to go, well, you give us $2 billion and we'll change it all, but that's not going to happen. So some of it, unfortunately, Rex, it's like we keep saying, some people are gullible, aren't they? So he says something and everybody believes it. Like he goes, if they get in the way of me sorting out...
It was quoted that actually he's been banging on about these catapults for a long, long time. He said... the article said he never liked electric catapults. This is not just today or yesterday. This is something that's historic.
Some sort of childhood trauma.
But as if he's been anywhere near the damn things.
I mean, bone spurs. It says it's bone spurs.
The guy never served in the armed services, let alone on an aircraft carrier.
I mean, why bother employing military people when this so-called president thinks he knows better?
Rex, Hegseth fired all the competent people at the top of all of the forces. And he's just got a bunch of people who are yes people.
11 carriers, by the way, just saying.
Look at what happened.
All using catapults.
And look what's happened on the Abraham Lincoln now. 250 plus days at sea. Yeah. They can't get any kind of food and everything on there because what happened? Iran bombed all of the US bases in the Middle East where they were going to go and replenish. Yeah. And the actual Abraham Lincoln now is a complete cesspit.
Well, they're saying,
it's mold everywhere. All awful, horrible things.
This is what happens when you have people cosplaying at being military type people like Hegseth and all that sort of thing. And it's like and it's very easy for Hegseth to say this is what they signed up for. They weren't press ganged. It's not the 18th century. I mean, they volunteered, and therefore, they cannot be.
The serious issue though about what Trump is saying about Oman, this is the bit where, the pundits are saying, and I agree with them. He's frightened that Oman are going to take over the running of the American side of the Straits of Hormuz. he wants to be part of it because he wants, if the Iranians are going to collect taxes for ships going through, then the Americans are going to collect taxes for going through. And if Oman poke their nose in, that because they're there, I mean, the straits are shared between Oman and Iran, not between the USA and anybody else. And he has this thing, but so there's dangerous parts to what he's saying, along with the stupidity, and the stupidity masks that evilness that goes under it. Like if he's saying about the aircraft carriers and all that, I don't know what they're like. The difference is if they're going to sell an aircraft carrier 2,500 miles or 3,000 miles back to the States in order to restock, or send ships over. Well, there's one. They could do that. They haven't got the supply ships, by the way. That's what's part of the problem because they got rid of all them. Exgift got rid of all them. By the way.
Yeah. Can I just deviate slightly? I was listening to commentary yesterday regarding the war, and the overall opinion at the moment is that Iran has the upper hand. And also that we should not be, Trump should not be attacking our closest ally in that region, which is Oman.
Yeah. No, absolutely not.
No. But again, Oman are one of. Yeah. One of.
It's hardly a good look. It's hardly a good look if you've got the President of the United States saying, if our allies, I mean, imagine if we'd said, because the Americans had said during the Second World War, we're going to start doing, we're going to start doing conversations with the Italians, and if the Brits get in the way, we're going to bomb London. I mean, come on.
Look what happened.
That's why we should be ignoring all of that.
Look what happened.
Looking at what is really happening. And it's about what's the rest of the world saying about what happens after. Let's assume that the Straits of Hormuz one day will reopen for normal trading. What's the rest of the world going to say when Trump agrees with Iran that they can start charging ships for going through there? It's no different to what happened when America, because Trump hates the fact that the United States gave the Panama Canal away. Yeah. Hates it because he can't charge people now for putting Chinese, because the Chinese ships use the Panama Canal to go to the other side. Even though China's that side of the States, they still come through the Atlantic and still they come through the Pacific and use the Panama Canal to get through to the other side of America into the rest of the world.
Just for those trying to get through on the phones, because of the problems that we're having trying to keep a connection with Rex, please don't try calling in because I don't want to lose Rex on the line, so I thank you for. I appreciate that. It's quite all right, but I've got some people trying to call in, so please send me a WhatsApp +34 645 9967 95, or send me an email to studio@tre.radio.
And just to finish that bit off, was the call from the Chief of Staff of the United States to Andy Burnham really false?
Well, yeah. I mean,
how do you know it was really false? That was Trump setting up one of his people to say, phone at Andy Burnham and tell him to open them oil fields.
Yeah, well, indeed.
Listen, Giles, another thing with Oman, which is awful, is that enormous spill of oil from the Russian tanker, which is causing, again, complete eco problems everywhere. The whole world is being decimated, but for goodness sake, in the Middle East, it's a raging fire of one thing after the other. And talking about, as you said, with the odious orange, he bombed Iran while they were having talks. Now he wants to go and bomb Oman when they're having talks. The man is complete cuckoo.
Well, I mean, it's good. I mean, the armaments. I mean, if you're in the munitions trade, it's absolutely wonderful time because he's going to be going around bombing people like. I mean,
they don't have enough.
Raytheon are going to make 4 times the profits this year that they've ever made. Raytheon is the American...
like Halliburton and all that lot.
But they're huge in the UK. Raytheon have got loads of factories in the UK because we make good rockets.
Which Ukraine are getting now, aren't they?
It's
not from Raytheon.
Not from Raytheon.
The UK.
It's a bit like Orion.
No,
your rather splendid grandson running around saying, "I'm going to bomb you." In fact, foreign policy done by, is he 8 now? Is he?
He's coming up for 9.
He's coming up for 9.
He says he's coming up for 9. Yes, he's still 8.
It really means he's coming up for 14.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, Rex is coming up for air because we keep losing him. I knew this was going to happen. Unfortunately, Rex, I think we're going to have to let love you and leave you for this time round. I'll try it one more time, but it seems to be dropping out. I'll get the technical team on it and put in 20p more in the meter. Let's take one more break and then we're into the half hour. We'll have half an hour left of this morning's Viewpoint.
Viewpoint with
Giles Brown.
Giles Brown here, live from the studios of TRE Talk Radio for your voice in Spain. Always live, always lively. I feel a bit like sort of Bomber Command. We seem to have lost Rex on the airways. I'm going to try and get him back in one more time.
He's paddling now, you see.
He's paddling. He's paddling madly towards a man.
In his wash.
He's what?
Paddling in his wash. Or is he washing in his paddle? One of the two.
It is the silly season. My apologies.
It's because of the heat. It's affected our brains.
Exactly. Now,
what remains of them.
You better stop or Trump will bomb Estepona. Cancel out. Yeah, thank you, Richard. Michael in San Pedro. When many American politicians go to war, it's based on Hollywood. They never take into account the history, politics, and religious beliefs of the country they're going after. They assume that if they invade the history, politics, and religious belief of the country, if they assume that if they invade, they're like the cavalry. Everyone is pleased to see them regardless. Treat everyone how you as a country would like to be treated. Not rocket science. Takes time to research, but do it. Peacock-like manliness has to be stopped. Peacock-like manliness. Oh, I like that. That's a great name for a band, actually. Peacock-like manliness is a great name. It has to be stopped. Jaw. May Rexy Poos continue to swish in his wake. Right. So let's just see if I'll just let him know that. I'm going to try one more time on the lines there, and then we're going to go back to about see how Bin Face is doing. Yes, indeed. Here we go. Not
Bin Laden.
No, not Bin Laden. Bin Face. Just trying to get Rex on board. I think he may have actually just fallen. Have you?
I'm back.
You're back. I don't know if you heard this, but we had this is from Dawn. May Rexy Poos continue to swish in his wake. There you go. So you're back now.
Yeah. Well,
As you, we'll try. We'll keep trying you. I've asked everybody else not to call in because obviously we want to keep this frequency clear.
I heard that.
Right then.
But can I ask you, Giles? Look at your phone. Because I messaged you when the call dropped, so you can see that I'm not there.
No, I know that. But you see, I'm a bit like a drummer. Yeah, I can see that now. You might, yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm pinging like a pinging thing, but unfortunately that's on my own. You've got my own personal line, Rex. You see, rather than the.
I know it is.
So
but just
I hate to tell you, Rex, but he ignored you.
I didn't ignore you. I would never ignore my Rex. Not especially when he's awake. Especially when he wakes that.
He wouldn't ignor me.
He was saying if he comes back on again, we'll have Jason
moving swiftly onwards. Now you're in that. You're in the UK. Any thoughts about the situation that we had with the MP for Clacton and 9,000 votes for a bin, Rex? I mean, did you just? Yeah. I mean, give me the thoughts of Chairman Rex on Tuesday on this.
Well,
one.
I read the results and. What was fascinating is that it's the highest ever count for a comedic candidate.
Even more than Screaming Lord Sutch back in his heyday. I mean, he never.
It was much more. It was 3 times the amount of Screaming Lord Sutch. And do you know what? I really enjoyed that whole episode. I mean, some people say it was a waste of money and a waste of this way. I thought that event demonstrated several things. Number one, we are a democracy. We are free to vote. Number two, we have not lost our sense of humour. Number three, it's all rather British and English and funny and brought a little lightness to politics. Regardless of whether you thought that Farage did the right thing or the wrong thing, certainly the endorsement of his candidacy increased greatly as a result of that. And of course, then the following day, or on yesterday, they start the inquiry again into his the propriety of the funds that have been received. I think they should move on. I think we've done a lot on this, and I think that Farage had a point. He was threatened on several occasions. He should have had security. He's used this money, but whether or not it's morally correct, I'm not sure. But we'll see.
Rex, you're missing the point. Rex, you're missing the point. It's got nothing to do with Farage's security. It's got nothing to do with anything other than here are the rules. The rules are, if you're an MP and you receive a sum of money more than what is it, 100,000, then you have to declare it. And he hasn't declared it, and he refuses to declare it.
Well, there may be another by-election.
No. That's where it gets a bit stupid if they do that.
I know.
But they've still got to go through the process because somebody has to investigate. Did he break the rules by not doing it? Now, somebody somewhere will come up and say yes or no. If it's no, it will be for a genuine reason. It won't be because, well, let's get rid of this, let's get it all out. And as for democracy, democracy is about huge numbers of people participating in changing what's going on. What was the turnout in Clacton? 43%?
43%, yeah.
44, I think.
44.
That one, yeah.
2 in 5, not even 50% or 60%. Farage was after, I want an over, he was looking for over 60% turnout with him getting 85% of the vote. And he never achieved that, so don't
there was a heat wave. There was a heat wave that day. There was a heat wave.
It's also Clacton, and I'm very well aware of. I used to go on holiday to Jaywick, right?
Who?
Which is the Jaywick.
Is that John Wick's brother?
Jaywick Sands is the poorest.
Jaywick Sands.
Jaywick Sands is the poorest place in Britain, okay? And I used to go there on holiday.
Okay.
And next to it is a place called St Joseph's, which I think is one of the biggest caravan parks where people live permanently as well. Certainly in Britain. Clacton is a poor, deprived area, and that's not the area that is Harwich is the big issue for down there. You've got this massive, great big container port, which provides most of the employment down there, and the rest of the people are just old folk wandering around along the promenade.
I've been there, Harwich.
Have you?
Yeah, dropping off a Toyota soup for 3 litres. That upset people.
Understand, I'm not saying it was a waste of money.
Yeah.
Farage did it for his own reasons, but his reasons are not valid and not genuine, and he hasn't received some overwhelming support for what he said and did.
Yeah.
Because he's still going to have to go through the investigation. Yeah. He's still going to have to justify himself, isn't he?
But Alf, the contentious part is the provenance of the money, where it came from, as well as who gave it to.
That's not contentious. It's never. No, that is not contentious. Yeah. Nobody says you can't receive money from overseas. It's about how you declare it.
What?
And what you. So if you don't know, you can have overseas people.
But
I make overseas donations to the Labour Party.
You didn't make them over £5 million, though.
No. The amount is irrelevant. It's an overseas donation.
Yeah, but not.
Anything over 50 quid, where the party is supposed to declare on for me, right? That's as low as that. And you have to say we've had an overseas. I think it's 50 quid, something weird anyway. And you just go, this is ridiculous. It's not. You're trying to justify something that's not justifiable. The justification is the rule says he should have done this, and that's what he should have done. And if he'd have declared it, what would a parliamentary what's he going to say? He's going to say, oh yeah, he was given $5 million. Yeah, it came from overseas. Yeah, it came from some dodgy geezer in.
But Alf, they're saying the money is smelly as well. So you know,
just a quick one.
It came from Bangkok, didn't it?
But the parliamentary committee are not there to justify whether it's dodgy money, black money, corrupt money.
You cannot.
none of that. It's just I received 5 million from an overseas donator.
The press are doing that. They're smelling the money.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
They should do.
20 million, by the way, everybody forgets it, 20 million to the Reform Party.
Yes, and you shouldn't...
And they declared that.
And an overseas donator should not be able to put in a sum of money back. Sorry, Rex?
An overseas donor, not donator.
Yeah, okay, an overseas donor. Thank you very much. I'll make you an overseas donor in a minute. Anyway, it's about to spring through. Anyway, somebody's donuts. Yeah. Rex mentioned the USA losing the Korea War. I don't think he did the Vietnam War. Korea was a stalemate. No one won or lost. It's a shame. I'm just going to spring to your defence, Rex, if I may, because hang on a second, Alf. Hang on, I'm just finishing the. Right, God, you're like. I mean, you'd be a nightmare at the mousetrap. You just go. It's the anyway. USA mentioned USA losing Vietnam War and Korea War. Korea was a stalemate. No one won or lost. No treaty was signed. The USA did lose the Vietnam War. It would be a shame he gave no credit to the USA playing a major role in winning World War I and World War II. If it wasn't for the USA, Rex would be speaking German. I think that Rex absolutely knows. I've lost him. Bloody hell. I think that I think Rex does know, and he is very grateful to our American colleagues, especially during their fine actions in the Second World War. I think we are all aware what a role the States played in the Second World War. Right, going to do one of these now. This is Giles Brown, and on Thursday the 20th at 11:30, I'll be speaking to Cristina Diaz and Maria Espinosa from Spence Clark on my Let's Talk show all about the Spanish tax system. Cristina and Maria will discuss everything you need to know about deductible expenses for the self-employed individuals in Spain, including the most common questions and practical considerations. And if you have a question that you want Cristina or Maria to answer about tax, send it to them by email by using the contact form at spenceclark.com, and they'll try and answer this on the show. Don't forget to tune in to Let's Talk this Thursday the 20th at 11:30 so that Cristina or Maria can help you demystify the Spanish tax system.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95. Message us on Facebook, Talk Radio Europe Official, or tweet us at TRE Talk Radio.
Okay, so please don't use the phones because we're trying to keep this one line clear to our man on the Thames, Rex Leyland. Rex, I just sprang to your defence about the Second World War, so there you go.
Yeah, I missed. I only caught the beginning of that one.
Well, basically, they said
someone had said that the Americans had drawn in the Korean War.
Yeah, well, somebody was. Notice Alf leapt off. Alf bounced on his spring and leapt in before I got my punchline in. But also, there is no way that you would say the Americans didn't help us win the Second World War because they're instrumental.
Oh, absolutely.
And otherwise, you would be sprechen Sie Deutsch, my Schatzi. Yes. Right then, looking at some more. When is he going to understand? This is Trump, not yourselves. When is he going to understand NATO's a defence organisation, not some warmongering cadre that exists to serve the mighty USA? The cost of converting the electromagnet catapults are superior, and to replace all of them will cost in the region of $2.4 billion. And he wanted to keep it all for himself. Apparently, I don't know about catapults, but there we go. Dale Vince this is a different one. Good morning. Dale Vince CEO of Electricity donated $5 million to the Labour Party and received contracts from the government of $120 million. Doesn't appear much in the press. Thank you for that one.
But it had to be declared by the Labour Party.
Yeah.
What you don't have to do is you don't have to declare what you're going to use the money for. And that's what Farage has been trying to cover up, is that I've been giving this money for my protection. It's called, well, I don't care. You can, for all I care is to buy Walker's crisps. Who gave you the money? An awful lot of crisps
for $5 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Gary Lineker.
I wouldn't buy Walker's anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. You see, Rex wouldn't buy Walker's on principle because it's Gary Lineker.
Because of Gary Lineker.
None of these woke Walker's crisps, Rex.
Exactly. And what flavour? What flavour?
What flavour, yeah.
Isn't it now not being allowed that you can make a donation over a certain amount to a certain...
No.
What is happening? No. Are they trying to bring that in?
Yes. There's a whole... gave 20 to 90.
But there's a whole issue about how much should people be allowed to give to a political party. There's a whole pile of that. But until they change the law, which has to go through Parliament, it will remain the same. And what it is called, you can give as much from wherever to a political party, but it must be declared. That's all they're saying, because if the Labour Party are given 20 million, even if it's drug money, if they're given £20 million and everybody says, oh, that's drug money, I don't care, it's a donation to the Labour Party. If they don't declare it, there will be issues about tax, there will be issues about... So the guy gives 5 million and then his company wins 100, and you go, well, I'll tell you what, no Tory donated any money and they all got the PPE contracts, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, and what's his name, the bloody Elf Minister geezer.
You mean Matt Hancock?
Yeah, Tony.
I was only thinking about him the other day.
Tony Hancock. Every time I hear that name, I think about a geezer in the shop window.
That was Arthur Watson.
No, it was Tony Hancock.
No, we're not doing that, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Up the window.
No,
yes.
Wasn't there
I'm older than you. You wouldn't even remember it.
We did this. Meanwhile, catch them in. So, meanwhile, okay, I think we have to go to bed. I'll try and get Rex back for a final adieu, because his wake's obviously gone over the side of his boat and it's hit the side of the ship. Somebody come in. I'm sure it's not Tony Hancock doing that thing with the window. Catch the movie Pressure, the decision to not go on the 5th of June at the... okay. Excuse me. This is... that's fair. It's scrambled. Okay. We've suddenly got to D-Day somehow. Farage wants to keep all the money to himself. Right. Thank you very much. No, I don't want bank links on my website. Thank you very much indeed for that one. 952784000 is the phone number, but please don't call it because we've lost Rex. So drop me an email, studio@tre.radio, to get your thoughts across. Just looking at some of the bits coming in. Unfortunately, this isn't India. Here we go. Everyone wants to go to war, but not to find peace. My experience is that people seldom desire peace. NATO expansionism, Ukrainian/Russian war, Trump-Iran war, US fading financial superpower, only military might and regime change keeps the US relevant in the world. The US has got a $38 trillion debt, apparently. I mean... NATO expansionism, Ukraine, you know my thoughts on that one, and if I have to reply, that's both barrels, so you're not getting that for a start. But I thought it was very interesting that the Russians, that Putin said that because we have supplied the Ukrainians with drones, then London, not even just the UK, I mean, London would feel the display.
Because they don't know the names of any of the other British cities.
Because they're not any Russians in them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Chelsea's in big trouble. And that's not a football thing for you, Alf, but Chelsea's, if it is, Kensington,
avoid that
we will hit you in the wine bars.
There's so much grandstanding going on.
We will fight them in the wine bars. Yeah. We will fight them in the international colleges.
That's where Rex is.
What?
He's gone past London and down the Thames and across. He's crossed the Channel.
He's navigated the Thames barrier.
Now he is somewhere in Normandy, sitting on one of the beaches, having a wonderful wine and snails and mussels and all sorts of lovely things.
He's bringing back the Berger Nouveau, is he?
Yeah.
Right, that's good to know. Right then, 12 minutes or so to go of this morning's Viewpoint. In the meantime, if you're wondering what's happening, after me will be Stephen Ritson, who will probably pick this entire show apart, as he's wont to do. Are you still swishing in your wake, Rex?
It's dropping now exactly every 4 minutes. I can see the time frame. So there's something going on at your end.
I tell you, I think it's Putin. I'm telling you now. He knows that you're going to be. You've been shadowing his shadow fleet, Rex, and that's why. Well, what we'll do, Rex, is I will bid you a fond adieu then, because I know I think we should set you adrift,
10:48. Well, what's the last subject, quickly?
We were just talking about...
Give me something to rant. We've got 3 minutes.
You have your rant then, Rex. You don't have a Rexy rant about whatever...
No, I want a subject.
Okay, you want a subject? Okay, well, fine. I was just going to say...
Andy Burnham's fake messages.
Andy Burnham's fake messages. I mean, how do you've already... Yes.
Because we have a...
Go for Andy Burnham and his clowns. Come on, Rex, you know you want to.
Well, I've already spoken about him, but I did sum up by saying that that we need to give him a chance, and he has come into power at the peak of the holiday season, and also the fact that he had his holiday regardless. Now, if you'd have been in Andy Burnham's position, would you have cancelled your family holiday or gone ahead with it? It's a good question, that.
6
It's a
days.
good test of
6
devotion,
days.
morality.
6 weeks.
Pedro Sanchez went on holiday, and if truth be told, they're pole vaulting over the water theatre if they're not swimming in, aren't they?
Because of the prisoner release, he was on the phone every single day checking up on what was happening with the prisoner release.
Well, haven't he got out yet?
No, the 2 guys.
Yeah. Oh, yes. But the pond life who killed PC Harper. What? Yeah, we've lost him already. Okay, one more time. I'm just going to let him say goodbye, because I think before we send him off to sea, let's just one more time. Bear, this is what we do. We love live radio. We're going to wish you. Hello, Rex. That you were spot on there. It was 4 minutes on the dot. So, Rex.
Yeah. So you'll tell your technicians, will you?
I will tell them your technicians.
That you've got a 4 minute.
A 4 minute warning. A 4 minute.
A 4 minute warning. Well, we've been talking about warnings and earthquakes and
exactly.
So on. So it's rather appropriate. Anyway,
yes, go on.
Well, so nothing else then to report.
No.
I got a call from a friend in Gibraltar the other day, and he said the humidity was 100%.
Yep.
And he said it was awful, and then it caused this mist.
Yes.
And then he got woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning because all the ships were blowing their foghorns.
Indeed. Not to mention their leg horns.
And it woke everybody up. It woke up the whole coast.
Yeah, well, rather than having a petroleum gas tanker hitting the end of Europa Point and then getting a bit blinding flash, Rex.
Didn't wake the old coast.
Won't find it, General. We wish you would do. I'm watching the time clicking down here. I can see. I see what's going. Work finder General, as always. Rex, take care. I shall chastise. I've sent you a picture, by the way. A listener sent me a picture of what he thinks you're up to.
I love it. I love the picture.
Isn't it good?
Very funny.
Terry Thomas on one water ski smoking a pipe. That is uncannily like how Rex is at the moment. Rex.
There's only one problem though, Giles. That I couldn't water ski in the Thames.
Right. Well, I'm sure
you can only go through the motions.
Yeah.
Bye, Rex. Bye. And there he was gone. Rex Leyland, the woke finder general. I can't. Hey, what?
It's one of the cleanest rivers in Britain. You can swim in the Thames.
No, you can. No, not at the moment.
Yes, you can.
Anyway, we'll be back after this quick break to dust ourselves down and deal with the E. coli that Al's probably going to pick up in a minute.
To contact TRE, please call 952 78 4000. Email studio@tre.radio. Send us a WhatsApp on +34 645 99 67 95. Message us on Facebook, Talk Radio Europe Official, or tweet us at TRE Talk Radio.
And we're back. It's in for the last 5 minutes of this morning's Viewpoint. Yes, and that's why we don't webcast. People say, why don't we webcast during the show? Well, you just saw Exhibit A, me fiddling madly. No, not with Rex. There's an image to put you off your cornflakes. But with some of the bits and pieces coming in. As I said before, we've got some problems with the telephonic network. You know, it's 100 years last month since Marbella got its phone link put in, believe it or not. There was a picture of the switchboard.
100 years ago?
100 years ago. The reason the Marbella Club was founded was because Prince Alfonso von Hohenlohe, and I will know this, had to stop his his charcoal-powered Rolls-Royce because he needed to make a phone call to Seville. That was going to take them 3 hours to put the line through. Makes you think, doesn't it? Anyway.
So, Richard Tice.
Yes.
Never mind a bit about it, it's good for the grapes. I thought what was absolutely disgraceful is what he said when he was talking about the Farage money. And he said about Farage's security, to pay for Farage's security.
Yeah.
And he actually said, we trust our security more than we trust the British police.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But this was him appearing as well. He was supposed to appear on stage at Clacton, and he didn't because they said, "Oh well, we think our security has said there's a threat."
No. The police have told us
right
there could be a disruption to and the Essex police come out almost immediately and said, "We've never told anybody to not turn up. We trust that whatever happens at the count will be safe for everybody." And then Tice said, but we trust our security more than we trust the British police.
Where is he living, Tice? Exactly.
Essex he lives, I think.
I mean, you'd be more worried with.
I thought he was abroad.
No.
Oh,
You'd be more worried. You'd be more worried about somebody turning up with a custard pie, wouldn't you? Basically, because of the list. I mean, it was hardly
or a milkshake.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yes. Farage's case.
Brings all your boys to Farage.
Yeah.
I could show you, but you have to charge.
I just found that seriously, absolutely disgusting. The guy should not be part of a political movement if he thinks that the British police force. And this is
because he wants to be
we want to be in power, and when we get in power, what are they going to do? Sack all the police forces?
Yeah, they're going to bring in their own independent militia, somewhat like ICE.
Yeah.
So therefore, I mean, it's
but they'll be called rice.
It'll be called rice.
Rice pudding.
Yeah. So therefore, it's the playbook.
But I seriously thought, out of all the political commentary, I just thought that was just so disgusting.
But they did grandstand a lot. They grandstand. They stand there. Well, he's standing there and waving around and all sorts of stupid things.
That's because he'd run out of things to say.
Well, this is it. This is what I mean.
Which is never a problem here on Viewpoint. The thing is, though, one thing that I do, because, I look and, as I stand on my soapbox and start singing the Internationale, the thing is, though, what gives me hope, is the fact that the UK is not the United States, and we do have a democratic tradition. And you would hope that the people who are trying to import the same sort of deals that are working for MAGA over there, they will transfer seamlessly to the UK. And you would hope, despite all the smoke and mirrors and noise, that isn't the case.
Yes. I agree.
Yes, absolutely.
I think the British public, before the next general election, will come to their senses and see what it's about. And the first thing that's going to bring it down will be reform. Reform policies. They will have to highlight what their policies are. And people,
don't they want to take off 50 billion for... I saw something about that.
That's all I watched. But it's things that Farage says, like they were talking the other day about the boats, and they were talking... People in France will be pleased for what we're doing because their people will not leave their homes. They're frightened to leave their homes because of all these...
Oh, yeah.
And you just go, so do you think the French police are going to sit back and watch a bunch of people from North Africa frighten their...
You'd have to say the French police got previous in beating up Africans.
Absolutely. I just can't believe what they say.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Well, anyway... we're almost out of time. Just like to thank the Woke Finder General, swash, what do we call him? Swashing in his wash, swishing in his wake. Swashing, yeah. Swashbuckling Woke Finder General, Rex Leyland. Of course, if you want to get a head, get a hat. Ali Babapuli is just proving that point. Alia, as always, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Right. Alf, good to have you in the studio. Yeah, we've got people. Now, next week, we're doing something special because we're going to do Junior Viewpoint, and unfortunately...
Good idea.
Yes, I know, but unfortunately, because you're just above the age of 21, you're not allowed on. So
we've got that guy back who was on before.
We've got that guy back who's on before, otherwise known as Marley, and we're going to also have, hopefully, and Kimberly, and hopefully as well, Alice as well. But thank you very much for the calls in. Viewpoint is back, Junior Viewpoint, next week. Stephen Ritson, who's very grown up, is on after this. Have a great rest of your day. The show's repeated at 6 o'clock. Stephen Ritson, the grown up, is on after this.
You've been listening to a TRE production. If you've enjoyed this program, there'll be another episode waiting for you next week, right here on this platform, where you can also access our extensive back catalogue of shows and interviews. For more information on our live programming, social media channels and apps, and how to contact Talk Radio Europe, please visit tre.radio.